Second up in the category of legends, the East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame is proud to induct one of my most favorite people on the planet, Florida's own, I don't know, California. What are you, Holmesy? Florida, California. Half-breed. He's in there. Ladies and gentlemen, Florida's Bill Holmesy Holmes. A Del Mar, California native, Holmesy began surfing in 1957 on an 8.6 Belsey. He quickly developed a burning desire to build surfboards, which he learned to do working at the Hobie factory in Capistrano Beach, California. The Hobie factory opened in 1962 with future legends Phil Edwards, Mike Diffenderfer, the Patterson brothers, Joe Severson, Mike Hinson, Corky Carroll, and Holmesy. This period of the surfboard industry was one of incredible innovation in both design and specifically in the manufacturing process itself. And Holmesy was right there, soaking it all up like a sponge. Holmesy met John Schmid, who lived in Palm Beach, Florida, while surfing Del Mar in the summer of 1964. The two hit it off, and John must have been some sort of conversationalist, convinced Holmesy that he should come to South Florida and start manufacturing surfboards in Juno Beach. At the time, there were only 2 builders of custom surfboards in the state of Florida. Holmesy's knowledge was state-of-the-art, and he set about training a crew of locals to produce some of the highest quality surfboards on the East Coast. Holmesy designed and developed a radical new design. You can see it right over there. The Sidewinder. He advertised it as the ultimate nose riding model available. This unique design is Holmesy's legacy, and rightly so, as he was the only one who could correctly shape the Sidewinder with the slots in the rail just forward of the fin, which funneled water over the convex tail. Genius. Creating lift in the nose of the board, holding it in perfect nose riding position in the pocket of the wave. Hell yeah! You could roast hot dogs standing on the nose of that board. And also, it turned on a dime. It was not just a nose riding phenomenon. It was a complete turning, trimming, and nose riding machine. The classic Sidewinder is one of the most sought after boards by collectors. As a visionary, Holmesy built a very successful business. Holmesy Surfboards were known and sold from Florida to Maine and down to Puerto Rico. His extensive surf team, led by South Florida legend Kim Neilsen, were always a threat at every event, and his team raised the hackles on the back of Dick Cattree's neck more than once. Holmesy returned to California in 1971 and eventually turned his talent toward the custom boat building industry. He came back to South Florida working on super yachts as one of the finest woodworkers available. And I just want to add, he is simply one great human being. I love this man. Holmesy!
Hello. Hi. Good evening. Thank you all for coming to celebrate the prestigious honor of being inducted into the East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame. I'm so excited and humbled to be joining my old surf buddies, David Reese, David Aarons, Chummer McReynolds, Hunter Johnson, Bill Bringhurst, Freddie Grosgras, Kathy Jo Anderson, and more into surfing's Hall of Fame. I want to thank all the people who lobbied for my induction. Fred Solomon and all at the Surfing's Florida Museum. And more, John Schmid, David Aarons, Hunter Joslin, and anyone who put their 2 cents into my induction. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for taking me to Dale Velzy's surf shop and buying me my first surfboard when I was just a kid. Surfing, I was hooked. When I was 15, I made my first surfboard in the garage. One night it got cold. I talked my mom into glossing it in the kitchen. Boy, did I stink up the house. Thanks, Mom, the gloss job turned out. The 60s came. It was beach blanket bingo, Wolfman Jack, the Beach Boys, surf safari, let's go surfing now. Surfing was all around, and surfing was all around me. Thanks to all at the Hobie factory and all the artists. Phil Edwards, Mickey Munoz, Mike Diffendorfers, Patterson Brothers, Joey Severson. They all groomed me. When I worked there, production was 150 surfboards plus a week. And half were coming to the East Coast. When I met John Schmid, he wanted to surf. I made him a surfboard. A vision appeared. We had a great talk with Grubby Clark about getting blanks in Florida. He said, go for it. The time is right. I'll send you blanks to Florida. He gave us great advice and good encouragement. The East Coast, Florida, Juno Beach, 1964. I wanted to make surfboards. People wanted to buy them. John and I started Holmesy Surfboards. Thank you, Kim Neilsen, for all the great 60s art for my surfboards. And my signs. And all your art. Thank you, Kim. And thank you to my crack manufacturing crew over the years. John Schmid, Kim Neilsen, Johnny State, Sales, Skip Lettingham, Shaper, Mike France, Mark Sovereign, Billy Seifert, Romeo Robichaud, Corky Bullard, and more. Oh, can't forget Cindy, sales, bookkeeping, wifey. And then there's my surf team, the surf contests, and some were contested. The surf safaris up and down the East Coast, with cherry bombs flying from van to van, and Sunday's ass getting the worst of it. Thank you, surf team. Kim Neilsen, Alan Carlisle, Eddie McCoy, Mike Bowe, Greg Renault, Mark Sovereign, Doug Sovereign, David Drug, and the ship, the Amaryllis. This 440-foot cargo ship parked itself on Riviera Beach, and it was Surf City. Surfing was all around. Surfing was all around me. Surfing is a wonderful sport. It is great for the whole body, physically and mentally. I cannot think of a greater sport. Surfing shaped my life. Thank you, East Coast Surfing Hall of Fame, for this prestigious honor. Thank you all for celebrating with me.